The amount of times that someone has come to me and said, Cheryl, I have someone who files my taxes, but how come they're not helping me with profit strategy or how to grow my business and scale? Why am I running this profitable, revenue-driven business and I have no confidence in my financials? And the truth is, it's not the fault of the person they hired. They just hired the wrong person for the wrong job. And oftentimes, it's because people, business owners, don't know that hiring a tax CPA is not the same thing as hiring a profit strategist or an accountant who handles your business matters. So in today's video, we're going to break down the different types of support you need for your business financials and how you can ensure you are hiring the right person for the right job so you can accomplish your goals. It all starts with your bookkeeping. Look at it like a triangle. Your bookkeeping is the foundation. And in fact, your accountant, whether it's a tax accountant or a business accountant, and we'll get more into that in a minute, cannot do their job if your bookkeeping is not done, accurate, and up to date. The complete foundation of your entire financial business rides on your bookkeeping. And I know you hate that part. I know that you hate that someone is sending you a report about what you did in the past, not what you can do in the future. I get it. But in order to know what you can do in the future, in order to plan out that profit strategy plan, in order to tax strategize, you have to know where you're starting from, right? You don't get in a car and go to your destination without knowing where you're beginning. Same thing. And that is bookkeeping. It's the absolute foundation. It is not optional. It's mandated. And your bookkeeping should be accurate. And quite frankly, the more up to date it is, the more in real time you can use your starting point to know where you're going. It helps drive the direction. So that's the first layer, is your bookkeeping. And now this is where it's going to get confusing. But I want you to stay with me. We have some fun drawings that will help. From there, it almost dives off. Like your accountant is that second half of the triangle, but that is a big part of the triangle, and it is like split into two. There's a tax side and a business side. And you got it right, those sides split again. But let's talk on the tax side for a minute. A tax accountant specializes in the tax code. They know that law. And if I'm being really honest, they probably know different segments of that law better than other segments. Because let's be real, it is humongous. They're not going to memorize the whole thing. They specialize in different parts of the tax code. And then, like I said, we break that out even further. Your tax accountants, they either file taxes or do tax strategy. Now you might be saying, hold it up right there. My tax CPA does everything for me. They do my bookkeeping, they do my profit planning, they do it all. Sure, some do, just like some bookkeepers will file your taxes and do your profit strategy. But how's it working out for you? Do you have a specialist or do you have a generalist? You know that saying, Jill of all trades, master of none, or Jack of all trades, master of none. That's what happens when you don't have a specialist on your financial team. So if your tax accountant is handling your tax strategy, your tax filing, your profit strategy, like how you actually get paid from your business, as well as your business scaling plan, plus your bookkeeping, your results are watered down. And it's not their fault. They're just a generalist instead of a specialist. And when it comes to tax strategy, I don't know about you, but I want the specialist who's looking at how I can save money. I want someone who knows that tax code and isn't watering down their tax service because they do everything. All right, that is the tax side of the house. The next side of the accounting triangle is the business accountant side. But real quick, let's just talk about what business accounting is, because it's different than bookkeeping. And bookkeeping, as we mentioned, is the foundation. Bookkeeping is simply classifying your financial transactions, putting labels on them. Simply put. When you get into accounting, you are analyzing, evaluating, and using those results from your bookkeeper in hopes to make a forward-facing strategy, perhaps to provide compliance to banks, lenders, and other people requesting your financial information, typically the accountant is the one who deciphers all that. The accountant is the one who reviews your reports. But again, that accountant, that business accountant, there's two sides of that. There's business accountants who, let's call it compliance, file the compliance work, who help with accounts payable, probably optimizing your systems and processes, probably helps with some checks and balances. But the other half is your profit strategist. It's the one who helps you scale and grow. It's the one who helps that revenue goes into your account. And while your profit strategist can also be your business accountant, who can also be your bookkeeper, typically you're watering down services. Again, let them specialize in what they're so good at to help you. So a quick recap, we have bookkeepers, and then it's followed by accountants, and that accounting is split into two, business and tax. And then again, it's split again. It's kind of like when you go to the doctor's office, you go in and you talk to the secretary. They build out that foundation. And then you most likely probably meet with the nurse who is helping see where you're at, taking your symptoms, and then you meet with the doctor to diagnose. Kind of like here, right? There's a different specialty for the different goal they're trying to obtain. So in order to know who to hire and when to hire, this is where I like to start. What is your goal? Are you looking just to have your books done so you can reconcile? That's a bookkeeper. Are you looking for profit strategy? How do I maximize the money that comes into your business? Are you someone who can make money? You have high level revenue, but you want to grow, scale, and be confident with your financial decisions of hiring, paying yourself, building out that new business, whatever it is for you? That's a profit strategist. Do you want someone who will just fill out the paperwork, handle your accounts payable, who will create the systems and processes? That's a business accountant. Now, on the other end, if you are looking for tax strategy, that's a different type of an accountant versus the person who's just filing your taxes. And sure, there's some people who do multiple things. For instance, in our agency, we have bookkeepers, accountants, and profit strategists, and the reason is because they each have their own specialty. And the agency can charge accordingly to what our clients want. We don't have to charge profit strategy if you're just looking for bookkeeping. We don't have to charge for analysis if you're not looking for it. So when you go in to hire someone, know who you're hiring. Let me give you another reason why it's business savvy not to use the same person for your tax strategy as well as your business accounting and bookkeeping. There's no checks and balances. True story, I was on the call with a client CPA because we handle the business side. We don't handle the tax filings. We handle the business side and we work in conjunction with the tax filers. So I was on a call and I said, I noticed our client is making X amount of dollars and their revenue is higher than ever. Have we considered an S Corp? Does that make sense for their entire financial portfolio? I don't know their entire financial portfolio. I know the business. I don't know what their wife is making. I don't know about Timbuktu. I just know about the business. But their tax professional knows that entire picture. They know if it makes sense. But because we have checks and balances, I can bounce off, hey, have we considered this idea? Oh, that's a great one. We should use it. It also ensures you're not getting ripped off because you have more than one set of eyes. So at the end of the day, it's imperative to know who you're hiring, what you're hiring them for, what's the goal, and work backwards. And then also evaluate, do you want a generalist or a specialist? There's certainly a time and place for both. I would argue your tax professionals shouldn't also be your bookkeepers and shouldn't be your Jill of all trades, because then their specialty is watered down. And I know personally, I want a tax strategist who can focus on the strategy and not worry about business accounting. So I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is Cheryl. My business partner Katrina and I own Empower to Profit, where we help small business owners like you put more of your revenue into your personal account. Because if you don't, what the heck's the point of all this? Cheers to profit.